Hey everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining me. As you're jumping in, let me know where in the world you are. Oh, that's super crooked. Let's fix that. I'm amped today because I'm actually gearing up for a webinar. I'm going to be doing a webinar on, thank you for the hearts, on Hangouts on Air and using it for your webinar tool of choice in about an hour and 15 minutes. So if you want to learn more about that, check out my Twitter profile. There's links and stuff in there. Good morning. Charity. Thank you for living your love, for sharing on Twitter. So I'm going to be doing that in about an hour, like I said, a webinar. That's something I do on the regular. Girl on Raw. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hearts. I do that pretty regularly. I think we have like something like 8 webinars in the next 12 weeks or something like that going on. So yeah, big stuff launching, big stuff happening, lots of free trainings, lots of cool stuff. But it got me thinking this morning about value. And one of the steps I've seen a lot of people skipping here on Periscope specifically, which is that whole providing value thing. It's super fun to get in and engage and connect, and that's my primary focus in all of my social media, is that engagement piece, that connection piece. But that connection piece has to be coupled with some actual value. And that value can look different to a lot of people. You know, that value can absolutely be tips or tricks or tools. In the past few days, I've done webinars on saying no to your fear around things. We've talked about growing your followers on Periscope. We've talked about random Ask Me Anythings. We've brainstormed topics. By the way, those Instagrams will actually be on YouTube today. They're taking forever to upload via my phone. I really should have just put them on my computer and uploaded them that way. But this is what I get for being lazy. But a lot of people I'm noticing as I jump into Periscopes, which I do pretty often, I'm noticing, I'm going to adjust this, guys, sorry. It's like really far away. There we go. That's better. But what I'm noticing is there's not a lot of value coming in. And the people who are seeing amazing results with Periscope, the people who, like me, living your love, I think a lot of marketing peeps are sounding like used car salesmen. I agree completely, living your love. Thank you for sharing that. It's easy to feel like that because what's happening is there's sort of this like mirage of value happening, and it's not really actual value, and people see through that is the problem. And I think with Periscope, one of the valuable things about Periscope is it's hard to fake. Like, you get in and there has to actually be value. There actually has to be you showing up. You cannot automate this. You cannot outsource this. You cannot fake this. And that's why I think video, and why I think live streaming specifically, is going to be such a game changer for social media, because it's really hard to fake. It takes the commitment and being loyal to your audience and providing them some value and giving them what they need. And for me, value is the name of the game. I've podcasted about this. I've talked about it on web shows. I've talked about it on interviews. I'll probably guest post about it soon. Value is my job. You know, I make money from selling programs and booking time with me one-on-one. Absolutely. But that only comes well after I've initiated providing you value. And that's why I create so much content. That's why I do so many free webinars. That's why I come on and do scopes. Is because I want to give you guys the value you need, the answers you're looking for, and slow down that frustration enough that you realize that I can help, and then we work together and you get even more value. But my job is not to sort of like faux value you in the meantime, which is not a real word, but we're gonna go with it, okay, guys? It's morning time. I get to make up words. So that's one of the things I want to really encourage you to look at the next time you go to turn a scope on. Are you in there providing real value, or are you in there just sort of pretending to provide value? And what are the ways you can provide value? For me, I try and get on and say the things that maybe nobody wants to hear, like this. I try to get on and answer as many questions as I can. So if you guys have questions, hi Alicia, if you guys have questions, absolutely leave them in the comments. I will answer every one of your questions for as long as I can. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to provide you value, and you're not going to get a half an answer from me. And I think that's the game changer when you talk about separating yourself from a pack. I hear this a lot from my clients because I work with a lot of infopreneurs, so coaches and health coaches and business coaches and life coaches and tech people who are providing solutions for some, anytime you're selling information, those kind of people, all of that stuff's available online. Everything I do, you can Google for free, literally everything. But you grab it from me because it's going to come with sort of my Stacey-ness and it's going to be valuable. It's not going to be sort of like faux value. And so that's true because I provided you the value up front. So make sure that you're not worrying about that. Like I said, a lot of my clients I get are saying, I'm afraid to provide too much value. What if I give too much away? What if I scope too much so they don't listen to my podcast? What if I podcast too much so they don't buy my book? What if they buy my book so they don't buy my program? It's really counterintuitive because what happens is, in my experience, if you come on and you provide super amazing content on scopes, they sign up for your list and they listen to your podcast, and then they buy your programs. I know because I've had people from Periscope already join me in a scope, first time they ever knew who I was, join the list and sign up for the beta of a program I'm offering inside my VIP community right now. So it can happen, but only if you come in with real content and real topics. And so this is definitely sort of one of those tough love scopes. This is one of those things where I'm just sort of in here giving you guys the truth, like this is what has to happen. But let's talk about how you guys can provide that value. So look at your most commonly asked questions. Look at the questions you get asked the most in consults, or via your Facebook page or Twitter or at your speaking engagements. And brainstorm those and put them in a document. And as you're looking for something to scope about, start scoping about those, because those are the things your people want to know about. That's the stuff that's coming up for them. That's the stuff that you're seeing over and over again as a frustration. Then that's where you should start with providing value. For me, a lot of the pushback I've gotten lately is that, am I giving away too much? So I've talked about it a lot lately. The other one I get a lot of questions about is Hangouts on Air. So we're doing a webinar about it today. So go into those places and provide those answers, because then you're the go-to when they're looking to extend that knowledge. Full disclosure, total transparency, I'm all about that. After my Hangouts on Air webinar today, I will pitch a program where I teach you how to do Hangouts on Air on an even wider scale. We dive deeper than we dive in the training. Obviously, I only have 30 minutes on the webinar, and the program's a program. It's totally self-study, and I'll pitch it afterwards, and people will buy it because they've seen a peek at what's inside of it. They've seen the value that's in there. And not sort of, again, that faux value, not the I'm just going to show you enough that you think this is real. No, that webinar will teach them an entire module of my program. And I don't worry about that. I don't stress about that, because I know it's what they need. And for some people, that'll be all they need. And for other people, that'll be just enough to know they need more. All right? Oh, I feel like I've really ranted here. Give me some questions or some comments. What do you guys think about this? Share the Periscope users that you see really doing this very well, providing an insane amount of value so that we can support them and make sure we have the right people on our radar. For me, Denise Duffield-Thomas, iSocial Fans, Holly G Studios, Alex Beaton, amazing. Living Your Love. And even if they don't buy, they may be the best at telling people about you. Exactly, Living Your Love. It's funny that you mentioned that, because a lot of times at webinars, the people who buy the program that I pitched on the webinar are people who heard about it from people who attended the webinar but missed it. Because I take my replays down after usually somewhere between 3 and 5 days, because I find if they're up forever, people don't ever watch them. But anyways, so I take my replays down, and a lot of times I'll get emails from people and they're like, so my friend so-and-so watched the webinar and said I had to have this. Can I still get whatever the deal was? So it's true. They become your brand ambassadors, your brand evangelists, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that's exactly right. So share with me in the comments who your favorite scopers are, or what you scope about. I talked about this yesterday on a scope, but one of my favorite ways to grow my following on Periscope, to connect with new people on Periscope, is in the comments on other scopes, because I find really cool people there. And I, of course, will jump in and look at all of you guys that are here once I'm done. But like I said, back to sort of what I was talking about with value, you have to come in and be real with your value. So find a way to do that. Alex Beeden is fun. Chris Ducker is awesome. You know, I love Chris Ducker, but I haven't gotten to catch any of his Periscopes yet. I really need to watch the replays or something. Yes, Alex Beeden is awesome. Yeah, Alex Beeden is one of my favorites. Denise Duffield-Thomas at Denise DT is another one of my favorites. If you like Alex Beeden, you'll probably like Denise. Holly G Studios. He is fucking brilliant. He is. He's crazy brilliant. I really want to go to his Tropical Think Tank event next year. Have you guys been to his Tropical Think Tank event in the Philippines? I really want to go next year. It keeps conflicting with something else I'm doing, so I put it on my calendar this year, hoping that it's the same kind of dates for next year, because I will go. I will go. All right, so it looks like our numbers are starting to go down, so I'm going to call it a day. Plus, I could probably finish getting ready for this webinar. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for hanging out live. Thank you for engaging in the comments. I really appreciate you being a part of this community. If you want to get in touch with the community more, of course, follow me over on Twitter, follow me here on Periscope, and of course, join the VIP community, thestaceyharris.com/VIP. Okay, all right. I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably Periscope later. All right, bye. Thanks again, guys.